We are back for our stealth archer video. Um, that was the purpose of the sneak video prior to this one. So, now that we have it, what do we do with it? So to take a quick look through and recap, we got sneak at 100, 20% harder to detect at tier 1. Primary route we're going is backstab. Um, One-handed weapons do 6 times damage, and then if you kick up here, daggers do a total of 15, which is fun, but that's not the build we're going for. We want this one. Sneak attacks with bows do 3 times damage. Now, there are other good things in this tree. Noise reduction, don't trigger traps. Silent roll I don't ever use. Walking or running does not affect detection, is useful. And Shadow Warrior I don't ever use either, but that's beside the point. So, Tier 1, 20% more damage on bows. Crit hits, cool. Covering arrows, not really relevant. Able to move faster with a drawn bow, helpful. Going the other direction here, the main ones, you get a zoom. Zooming with a bow slows down time, extremely helpful. Stagger opponents, can draw a bow 30% faster, cool. We're at 27 points in archery, we're at 32 for our one-handed. Now, what do we do from here? So, you can run a stealth archer in two directions. You can go smithing, and you can hammer out your smithing until you're high enough to make a really high tier bow. Or you jump into conjuration and you go up this tree. So you can get a bound bow stupid early on, which is where we're heading. I want to say it ranks in the top like 8 on the damage for the bows in this game. I could tell you exactly, but it's reasonable. So, bound weapons do more damage. Bound weapons cast Soul Trap. So those are your primary ones. Once you hit level 30 and you can take this tier, then you can use that to power level your enchanting as well if you haven't done that already. So that's generally the route that most of the stealth archers run. Now, obviously, like with anything, there's a lot of customization. You can do what you want. Um, we're just out of the cave, so our first objective is to hit Riverwood. We might as well, because the route to the bow is up through the mountain range, and the pathway's down here. So, towns, you get Iverstead over here. You can follow that down and around to Whiterun. Would rather just run this way, it's quicker. But out here, approximate, and I will show you later, is the bound bow. You normally cannot get this early in the game because, well, everything wants to kill you and they're higher levels than you are. So, it's a good thing you've got 100 points in sneak. Now, we do have daggers. We could go the backstab route and do all that fun stuff for now. Like with any play style, you can kind of adapt this as your own. A lot of you aren't going to be new to Skyrim, but if for some reason you are, adapt. Um, the Sorry, train of thought for a second. That shouldn't be the pathway. The next junction is. There is a dragon hanging out in the hills. I don't really recommend engaging him early on. It doesn't end well. Not that we all haven't done it, but not necessarily pretty when you go running up the side of a hill and you're like, oh, hey, there's a dragon that wants to kill me. Not exactly a good time. Warrior Stone, we're going Thief Stone. Technically, Warrior would probably be more useful. So we'll do that since Sneak's already capped out. Those stones definitely help. I mean, 20% skill boost is pretty significant, especially early on. After we Get over to Riverwood. We'll make some stuff because we might as well make free stuff. And then we'll head over to get our bow. After that, we can hit Whiterun. From there, I highly recommend getting access to Riften to run the first quest for the Thieves Guild because you can do that with no skill levels. The primary reason for that being is because that opens up your one of your main fences, so you can sell stolen items. Because, well, you're basically invisible, so you might as well steal everything, right? That's how it works. Um, as far as the power leveling trifecta that most of you are familiar with, alchemy, enchant, and blacksmithing, I tend to go alchemy first, even though it's probably a little slower than some of them. However, the potions sell for a boatload. I like to get that done. So, here's Riverwood. That way, at least it's unlocked. And then we just gotta go mountain. You have the Dawn Guard DLC, so people are already asking me questions about that. Now we're supposed to head to Whiterun, which is off this side of the town. But where we actually want to get is back here. So, we're going to backtrack a little bit. Over here, and then we bank up instead. Yeah. So back at this sign junction that we passed a little bit ago, instead of heading to Riverwood, Helgen, Falkreath, cool. Should be this. Yeah. Alright, I did this like a week ago, and apparently I've forgotten what I'm doing. Now, for me, I do want to pick pretty much everything because I do start in alchemy really early on. I find that helpful. And for leveling alchemy, you can always just eat the ingredient. It gives you the first of 4 ingredients, or the first of 4 effects. Okay. I feel like I'm really confused. Shouldn't be back to Helgen. All up already. Probably is from Helgen. Yep. Yep. It's from Helgen. Sorry, guys. That was a painful interpretation. Anyways, when you eat an ingredient, you learn the first of its 4 effects. Now, when you unlock higher tiers in alchemy, you can unlock all of them, which is super helpful. I do not recommend eating all of the ingredients in your inventory at one time, or sampling one of everything at one time, because, well, some of them help you and some of them kill you. So, take that from experience. If you chow down one of everything out of a list of 300-400 ingredients, you're probably going to kill yourself. Oh yeah, people out here that are pissed off with us already. So we're gonna level our one-handed up. And if we don't want to do that, we can just run away, because, that is what it is. But this guy has a bow. Let me check. I think I still have the difficulty cranked up from the last playthrough, because these guys are not taking any damage. Not cranked up that high, actually, but... Alright, moving on. We don't really have the health to engage this war unless we have no choice. So, we're gonna try and ditch our way out of here. I think the last time I did this, I snuck through, and that was a lot simpler. Alright. They peeled off for now. So we're heading to Iverstead, which is just over the mountain range. So yes, you do go off of Helgen. I just missed the road completely. Bear Caves. So the primary reason I also start alchemy first is because I can go in and steal everything from all of the alchemist shops, including all their potions and everything, and then you can sell it to the fence. So those potions are worth a chunk of change. And then from there, you can also steal all the ingredients, make a bunch of them, and one, taste test stuff, and two, just make whatever you can make. Pretty soon, your potions are worth 6,000 gold per, which means every one of them you sell out of ingredients that you stole pretty much deplete a vendor's gold collection. Once you hit that point, you basically have an unlimited flow of gold. Now, there are other videos I've watched on interesting ways to mass collect gold early in the game. Some of them are very interesting. I don't do it just because I don't. Here. Alright. Wolf pelts are good to have. We will need them for our blacksmithing when we get there. The little alchemist shack, which is also useful. Books, until you learn which books you want to do, just read them all because you never know what's going to give you bonus points to what. Perhaps good. And we can also take a nap in here if we felt so inclined. Moving on. See, there's a dragon symbol up on the top bar. I really don't want to go there right now. Throwing that out there. We're just about to Iverstead. Any of those yet? And then as long as it's safe, you can always go and check out some of the little caves and other things. I want to say that cave happens to have a cave bear, but because it does. Everstead this way. That would be the little house there. But they also have guards, so if you happen to be, you know, getting mauled to death by a bear, generally you can get there. And we got our courier, which is phenomenal at finding you absolutely everywhere, and the videos on that are hilarious. But I still don't know if I have a bear sitting on my tail, so let's go. Okay. Whiterun also has a bunch of flowers plastered everywhere. The towns are great for collecting flowers. Moving on. So that route is the route to High Rothgar, which you'll end up doing eventually. We're not going that route at the moment. We're officially following the pathing to Whiterun. But partway down, we gotta veer off and go find a couple of towers. So it's gonna be that symbol. There's two of them out there. Looking for one that's further out than them. Downside with this is if you get too high up in these cliffs, sometimes you get stuck on them. It doesn't end up well. I want to say we're headed out that direction, if memory serves. I'm pretty sure I screwed this up last time. Not this one, but as long as we're this close, we might as well go get it. Oh, look, people that want to kill us. Alright, so. Sorry, I'm kind of running this just off memory right now. It's been a minute, but it hasn't been too long. Get down the waterfall. Let's way off of this rock without killing ourselves. These really hurt when you screw them up. That's the bridge we're heading for. Like I say, you can follow the lower path. More fun to hop down the mountainside. As long as you don't get stuck. like this is the one that can kill you. Or bug out. Seems to have happened to have done. Alright. Well, we always quick save a bunch going down thing. Cruising right along down the mountains. Alright. Good. We'll climb our way back up to the bridge here. Oh, it'd be difficult. Come on. There we go. Alright. That being said, fair. That should be the one we're going for over there. Yeah, the bear's still here. Memory serves, this camp was not hostile, so hope I recall that correctly. Alright, 1 second here. Okay. Out in the right neck of the woods here. Sure. Yeah, it's off of this way a little bit more. Okay. Sorry. I should have had this up, but that one looks like it. So we're gonna go check. Unfortunately, Skyrim's mapping and imagery is always a little... Now at this point we have no armor or anything, so engaging this is kind of a stupid thing. But he started it and he's got a bow and I want it. This time he's only by himself. And we have a horse helping. Sweet. Now we got a bow. Alright, Let's go see if this is the right one. I don't believe it is. It looks all wrong. Watch. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So, yes, it's somewhere off direction. I know it's too far away to find it just on your sensors, so you kind of have to have some idea where it's going, and unfortunately this is a painful video for demonstrating this. Do you remember going through all of this? Now the only thing out here you have to worry about is giants. Southwest of Windhelm. You don't really want to piss off the mammoths, because their giant keeper friends will kill you. Assuming, of course, you live through the mammoths themselves. I'll take all of those. Last time I did this, I already had a bow. There we are. That's the one we're looking for. We took the long route. So before you go in here, you're going to want to dump points into stealth. That one or that one? The latter. And you can always, of course, approach from an angle that puts you in a better position. For instance, most of the time you can get close enough to the walls. Okay, this is the one we're looking for. It was just the most painful route to find it. Oh. Jumping into sneak here. Sneak. On all 5 of those. Muffled movement. Yes. Lightfoot. Yes. Care about silent roll, but silence is useful. And then we're going to cut over here. Grab our backstab perks. Deadly aim. Technically, Assassin's Blade we don't need right now. Just to save on perks. Now, memory serves. People get pissed off at you. I'm going to go through this one. Now, there's obviously people here. Let's try not to piss them off. What we are looking for is in the bottom of a bucket over here, because that seems like a perfectly normal place to put something. With that being said, you now have this. Now we can get out of here. If you screw that up, they will pretty much one-shot you, and that will be that. So I don't recommend doing that. Otherwise, you end up like these guys. Ooh, bone meal. Alright. So as soon as we're far enough away here... Ooh. I was worried. Now that we're done there, and we've explored a whole bunch of stuff, I'm gonna port back to Riverwood. Might as well stand back up. Yeah, for demonstration purposes, the reason for this. I need some more levels. I dumped all my points into health right off the bat, and I don't have enough in my pool. I need 183, so I need 8 more levels. Okay. That's fun. Let's go talk to the people we're supposed to talk to. Pet the cow while we're at it. Eee, nice cow.
Lucan over in the Riverwood Trade. Cross the river and then head north. It's my mill. And by Alvor can help you out. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need,
Sweet.
let me know.
She gives you a bunch of free stuff. Might as well take it all. That would be a logical assessment.
A fine day to you, friend. May you die with a sword in your hand.
Harvest all of the stuff. This is all food stuff, but you can pretty much sell it. Pretty much sell everything in this game. Do we need it? I don't know. Should we take it? Yeah. Dwarven shield. Apparently we're not allowed to have that. But we could take it anyways. But then we can't sell it and we're stuck with it. They said we could take whatever we need, right? So we need everything. Or apparently the potions. There's a couple of things they don't want us to have. Ace? Alright. So with that being said, go check in with our friendly neighborhood blacksmith here. Plans on our way out. So he gives us a bunch of stuff to start smithing. One stage at a time. Craft some leather. So this you can use pelts to break down into leather. And then you can break leather down into leather strips. Workbench is used to improve your armors. Assuming, of course, you have the tiers. And if they're enchanted, then you can't touch them without the enchanting blacksmithing part.
You have time. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making
So
your
we can
next
hang out
build.
here
Huh?
and make a bunch of stuff. We can see what all we've got and make stuff nicer. Just sell it off. Now, for certain things, it'll show you what you need. Tells you
Whatever you
need
need.
leather.
Buy Ysmir if it's simple and strong.
For the
I can
iron
make
stuff
anything.
we've got, tells you it requires an iron ingot, and we only have one. And then you can go sell
Looking
it.
for a new blade? Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Longbow 7, Imperial 10. Alright. So that's everything in our list that he'll take. With that, what do we have for coins? We've got a little bit of coins. So you can start by buying the ingots and stuff just to make some weapons. Kind of how it works when you're early on. You
All
make
right.
them and sell them, and make them and sell them, and make them, sell them until you're high enough to actually get somewhere. Now, at certain tiers, obviously, this goes a lot faster, and when you have a lot more materials, it works a lot better. Selling that, see if we can buy any
I could.
leather. Buy
Hmm.
leather, we can make more, and then you rinse and repeat. For
Looking
whatever
for a
reason, it will
practice
not go into the
helmet
menu.
or deal some damage?
Leather, not have enough of that.
Until next time.
So, we steal all the useful resources, as we can, and then go in the house, and we steal what we can there, and we continue. The main thing to do at this point is get to Whiterun, and then from Whiterun, you're going to start town hopping. Since I didn't put points into my magics early on, then we're actually behind where we could be at the yeah. That sucks, but as soon as you get to alchemy, it's fine. Well, then just pick everything that you can. Now, there's a bunch of tips for power leveling each of the classes to the skills. I've seen a couple that are interesting on this, but some of them are also old enough they've been patched and fixed. So you can try them if you feel so inclined. I generally don't power level too many things. If I want to spend the time, I will run the 3 and make it work. But like I say, I normally go into alchemy. Worst case scenario, you can always reset it later. What I don't recommend is resetting all 3, the blacksmithing, enchanting, and alchemy at the same time, because oh, that's a kitty. Bad kitty. Oh, that's a puppy. Never mind. Bad puppy. Do we still have a... Okay, we're gonna head to Whiterun and then we'll port back, because we're almost there. And once you get to the main town, you can pay the guy a little bit to get you run around. That's normally what I do. Is if I'm feeling lazy, I'll just sell a few things that I've leached out of a store and have him run me to the other towns because it saves you a whole lot of walking time. Oh, there's a giant up here somewhere. Might as well. Never mind. We won't help kill him. I want your toes. How many toes? Let's read. Stables. And then you gotta run all the way up and around. Generally, once you actually get into the town and unlock stuff, then there will be a caravan there at the stables that'll give you a ride anywhere you want to go.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
They're a little man up front.
They say Helgen.
Alright, that important back here to get this quest out of the way.
Gonna get cold. Oh. There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. We're a small village, but we work hard and take care of our own.
Not.
I own the lumber mill and pay a fair wage. See my husband Hod if you're looking for work. It's my mill. Of course. There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Wait. We're just wigging out there for a minute. So, or to Whiterun. Run through all of this. Pick all the random flowers around town. Got enough to make quite a lot of stuff. You just kind of have to decide early on if you want to focus on your leveling out your skills first, or whether you want to just get what you need and roll. Really just player preference. But as you can see, there's stuff. Generally, you need 2 or 3 items per make a potion. Obviously, there are exceptions, but that's predominantly once you actually get going on. Plus, if you use 3 instead of 2, there's a higher probability of discovering an additional effect.
Brigands I can handle. This talk of dragons, world gone mad, I'd say.
Once you have some of the effects learned, then you can just scale. You know, if you have multiple things, let's say they restore health, that's how you make health potions. Take multiples of those and you throw them together. Now, the first part of Skyrim is a little tedious just because it's run here, do this, before they kind of cut you loose. But we gotta do this to unlock the town. So we actually have access to everything we need.
danger. If
The
that
Jarl of
dragon is
Ulfric
lurking in the
will view
mountains.
that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not.
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. Here. There is... Come, let's go find Farengar.
Alright.
He's been looking into a matter
I'm
related...
gonna go talk to this guy, see what we can steal from him. Mostly he's got rocks. Just have some good books to read.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can... Yes, Well, when I say fetch, I really... Straight to the point. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Find this tablet, no doubt interred in the... An old tomb...
Alright.
Maybe... I'm sure some of the locals can... Well, must preserve some professional secrets, must...
So we shouldn't have anything that we need to do here, but I think we still have some spare items to
Off to Bleak
do.
Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl...
But we don't know anything.
Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found...
And yes, we still don't have clothes.
I'm sure he will prove most useful.
We'll get there. Alright. Really? Interesting. Okay. For whatever reason, like stuff's going out of sequence.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. No doubt, he thought it was with good planning. Even now, my we must
Okay.
also... But
So yeah, now we gotta go run the quest, and then come back, and then go after the dragon. Anyways, we should be able to rest, or wait, as the case may be. While we're doing that, 9 hours. So from here, we're heading to the alchemist shop. Grab some plants.
Reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that.
My Aorland is the
can't stop
finest
now.
blacksmith
And I can't
in
get the sword on my
Skyrim.
own.
And that's not simple. Willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. Then we won't starve.
I'll put it.
Plants everywhere.
Send you back to Riverwood.
Alright, now that we have some plants,
Just us against the dragon.
Hey, the way you walk around at home is your own business. When you're at home.
they don't like it when you're not fully clothed. It makes them weird.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Coincidentally, the alchemist shop has some of the best plants growing nearby. Who would have known? Alright. Go chat with her.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for.
Look at all this stuff.
Might have it stored away.
Have this? Need all of it? We save constantly for when we screw up? Also.
You'll find tonics, salves, poultices, and potions on my shelves. Browse to your heart's content.
Technically, you're not really supposed to be able to do this early in the game. But, you know. That's why we got sneak points. Oop. Some of the time she gets really weird as to why you're sneaking around. I don't know.
Be careful! I offer remedies for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service.
A lot of times there'll be stuff in the kettles and the pots and stuff that you're gonna want. Some of the time it's easier just to take the pot. Alright. That. If of course we can jump. I don't know why they would possibly see us while we're standing on the counter. Weird. Alright.
I sell cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you.
There's what we got up here. Like anything useful freaks out anyway. So from here, save first. If you're gonna go into leveling stats right off the bat, then I would definitely put points into whatever you're working in. So for me, it's definitely gonna be only the first 2 tiers, but being 40% stronger already, you can use these to make them worth a whole lot more gold, so you've stolen stuff, and then make it worth a whole lot. So from here, you go into ingredients. You have no idea what any of these do, and you're going to lose a lot of them. So you start chugging your way through. As long as you've got the first one exposed, you're good. Try not to double them up because you don't have a ton of them. A lot of them are going to be one-offs. Most of them are going to be one-offs because I don't have that much stuff yet. Now we're still alive, so that's a good start. Go back through, make sure you got them all. And then you can do crafting a couple of ways. You can go in, it'll give you an update as to what you have that does multiple things. Anything that you've got 3 of, highly recommend just do. You've only got 2 of, eh. And then just clear your way through. Eventually, you'll hit a point where there's nothing left. And at that point, you can decide to wait, or you can decide to risk it and see what you get. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So, for instance, this doesn't do anything. You get creation failed. Sometimes you'll get something, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you end up discovering you got a whole lot of stuff you didn't know you thought you had. Not in the end. Now you do get a small amount for failed ones. It's just not purple mountain, blue mountain, nothing. Purple mountain, blue mountain, garlic, nothing. Blue and purple and this frost. Cool. Only 3, so I mean you can kind of work your way through this. And then as soon as you realize you're not getting anywhere, call it quits. But now that we did all of this, she tells us how to make healing potions, which she just gives you a scrap. Exactly help. Now we can go in and we can sell her all these potions we just made. And we have now bought out her inventory. Then we start buying more ingredients. For that one. That one's expensive. And now that he has money again, oh, and she will buy food. Always forget about that. So all the food that we took from that first lady, we just sell it back to this gal. And then we buy the rest of the ingredients. And from there, go back in, figure out what's what. What did we get that we didn't have before? Alright. Now that's done. Come back in here. Always do the restore ones first, because they sell for more, especially with the perks. So if we go here, we got for alchemy we took. So restore health, magic, or stamina. Obviously that's helpful. This one is poisons. This one is beneficial effects. All of them are useful. When you get up here, getting an ingredient reveals the first 2, 3, and then all 4. So that's super helpful. Now if we have nothing left, then obviously gotta go with it. Damage. Damage. So now that we've done that, we sell everything back to her. And that's about where we're at. So we made a little bit of money. bought a boatload of ingredients. The only thing she still has is that because that's expensive. So we'll grab that. See if we've got enough to make one more. Sell it, and then we'll go grab a stable ride out of here. And go leech a bunch more stuff from somebody else.
Pardon me, but do I
And then you rinse and repeat this until you're no longer broke. So,
good day?
with that being said, this is a good pause point for the moment. I will come back and probably do some just leveling on my own, and then show you guys the bow and go a little bit more in depth on that. And then, depending on, we can cover power leveling, alchemy, and everything from there. So, with that, it's been a long day, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. You guys all have a good night, and I will talk to you guys later.